As students head back to school, it's an ideal time to talk about how to prevent a horrible crime that happens around the world and right here in Houston. It's sex trafficking. How do you recognize when someone might be abused and what can you do about it? Here to tell us more is Stacy Henderson, a longtime Houston resident, charity fundraiser, and wife and mother of 5. She recently co-chaired a private fundraiser to benefit Love 146, a nonprofit that brings hope to victims of sex trafficking. Stacy, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What are some signs that parents can look out for in terms of how to find a predator who might be after their child?
Online is the absolute biggest threat to our children. They have access to the internet through their phones. It used to be something that was very simple to track.
Right.
There are online predators out there that make online profiles, pretend to be a 12-year-old female, befriend a child, set up a meeting, and then when the meeting happens, oh, well, so-and-so couldn't make it, but I'm their uncle or whatever.
Right.
And they've set up such a relationship with that child at that point that they know that this child probably already has a low self-esteem. They know what the child's weaknesses are. They know when that child's alone. And they groom them for months. And
okay, so Stacy, the 12-year-old thinks she is meeting another 12-year-old
yes,
kid.
Absolutely.
Instead, there's the uncle or older brother or something.
Right.
And he establishes trust immediately with that?
Because he already knows, since he was the 12-year-old
right.
girl,
so he
already
knows
knows everything about
right.
that child. Yep.
And then he's sort of grooming her, and then does he persuade the kid to run away with him as she gets older, or what?
Generally, it's a slow process. A lot of these children are starving for attention, and their parents aren't home, maybe latchkey children with low self-esteem, and they buy them lunch, they get their nails done, they befriend them, they pretend to become their boyfriend, and sometimes the girls willingly go at first, thinking it's willing, not realizing they've been manipulated. Right. And awful things can happen, awful things.
So how can parents prevent this sort of online predatory
They need to
behavior?
monitor their children, and I really can't say that enough. I hear a lot of people say, well, that would be an invasion of their privacy. No, it's not.
Yeah, we're paying for it. We're paying for that online stuff. Yeah.
Check their phones, check their computers, and know where your children are and what they're doing. A child's self-esteem is their armor in the world, so you need to make sure that you know what's going on with your child.
Now, what are other signs parents can look for in terms of, is my child becoming a victim or becoming abused?
Sadly, a lot of the times the children that are victimized or abused, their parents aren't the ones that are looking. Their parents might not be around. And so it's others that need to be on the lookout as well for children that are at risk.
What should we look for?
Like I said, the most important thing is a child that has a self-esteem issue. Or a child who's alone all the time. We can do things as people, volunteering. Even if you're not comfortable with sex trafficking or talking about sex trafficking, if you volunteer to school to read to children, if you reach out and help with Little League sports, anything that you can do for underprivileged children or for children that might not have a strong support system at home for whatever reason, socioeconomics aside, could help save that child, because they're not going to be the ones that the predator targets. They target the weak ones.
Why are you so passionate about this subject?
I have daughters. I have daughters. I grew up in Houston. It's a hotbed for sexually oriented businesses. And like most women, I really thought when I drove by the massage parlors, when I drove by the strip clubs, I thought it was all consensual. I had no idea that women were being held against their will, and that so many of them aren't even women. They're not even women yet.
And they have a debt to pay back, so they're being forced to work.
They bring them a lot of times from out of the country, and they tell them they're going to come here, work in a restaurant, they've got a great job for them, put them up in these brothels or massage parlors or cantinas, and tell them they cannot leave until their debt is repaid, and the debt will be $30,000. They take their passports, and they're stuck. They're actually, literally slaves.
That's awful.
It's horrifying.
And you've raised money to help with the cause. How much have you raised so far?
We are hoping that it'll be $20,000 for Love 146, and so
we can look
on
the website Love 146 to find out more
Absolutely,
about it.
yes.
Thank you so much, Stacy Henderson.
Thank you.
I'm Mary Sid. Thank you for watching Global Outlook.